The Switch does a really great job of scratching my Nintendo itch. So will the Nintendo Switch 2 have what it takes? Will it be enough to win me over? Welcome everybody, and before I move on and get stuck in properly with the Nintendo Switch 2 stuff, I'm just going to stick on screen right now the VirtuaFather Retro Gamer Brain Teaser, so you can take a look at that one like we normally do, and as usual I will stick up the answer on screen before you go so you get a chance to check whether you got it right or wrong. So yeah, let's dive into the Nintendo Switch 2. I think anybody who's anybody has seen the Nintendo Switch 2 trailer now that Nintendo teased us with. And I, like many, I was, bright-eyed, excited, interested. Obviously, it's a big deal. Nintendo are announcing the new system officially. And yeah, I was hooked. And I posted some stuff, how exciting it was that Nintendo were bringing out the Switch 2, etc. But I've sort of had time to pause and reflect on that. And I'm now question marking whether the Switch 2 is going to be something that is going to work for me. And I'm going to explain why. So this video I'm going to talk very much about from where I'm coming from. You guys out there, you will no doubt all have your own opinions on it. You'll be coming at it from different angles. For instance, some of you no doubt early Switch adopters. You've had the Switch since 2017. You're probably getting a bit tired of it now, and you're really chomping at the bit for something new, ready to move on. Different for me. So I'm coming at this from a certain angle. I'm going to discuss it now. But please let me know in the comments what you think of where I'm coming from. Do you agree, disagree? And let me know where you're coming from with the Nintendo Switch 2, because I really would like to hear. So for me, the Switch, as I've thought about it and what I'm using the Switch for, the Switch is doing everything I need regarding Nintendo. I've got Nintendo Online, so I can do all the retro stuff that I want to do. So it scratches that itch. I don't physically collect retro stuff for Nintendo. I'm big on my Sega, and I'm collecting PS3 and original Xbox. But I do love my retro Nintendo stuff. So it does scratch that itch. The Switch itself does that. And the Switch 2 isn't going to do that any better from what I understand. Now, I'm not claiming that I know everything about the Switch 2. Again, if you've seen or heard stuff that I say here that contradicts, let me know. But I can't see how the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to in any way enhance my experience playing retro Nintendo stuff, which is what I do a lot on my Switch. I also haven't had a Switch. Personally, I haven't had a Switch long enough for me to get anywhere near having played the abundance of games that is on the Switch. Quality games, as I'm sure you're aware. The Switch has a massive catalogue of games and a lot of tip-top quality games as well at that. So I could spend quite a while tucking into collecting games that I want for the Switch. And that would take me quite a lot of time before I would ever really need to move on to the Switch 2. So there's a few things that got me, that sort of came into my mind. I'm thinking, yeah, actually, now the excitement's died down a little bit, do I need really a Switch 2? On top of that, you've then got the hardware. So I did a video basically explaining, I'll stick it on screen now. I did a video, I'll leave a link in the description. It was all about why I was leaving the current gen, sold my Xbox Series S. I got no FOMO for current gen. Decided to get bigger into the retro stuff. Wanted my kids to experience that as well. But I'd got no FOMO for current gen. I'd done with it. And I did say in that video, if I remember rightly, that it would take a lot to win me back when sort of Gen 10, the next generation, comes out. It would take a lot to win me back. And maybe, if anybody, Nintendo would manage to do it with their next iteration, their next console. Now I've seen more of what their next console is, the Switch 2. I'm not saying it's not going to be impressive, by the way. I am sure it will be mega successful. There will be lots of people that want it. people will dive in there and buy in their droves. I am sure it will be, just like the Switch, a massively successful console. But for me, I'm not sure whether it will bring that FOMO the more I think about it, because it's not really, hardware-wise, from what I understand, it's not going to be next gen. So Nintendo are going to get in there before PlayStation or Xbox release another console. So they're kind of going to be ahead of the curve on that front. But the hardware actually is stepping back, as I understand it. And again, let me know in the comments if I've got this wrong. But the hardware we're looking at is more akin to somewhere between a PS4 and an Xbox Series S. So although it's a new Nintendo console, hardware-wise, it's not going to be giving us anything that we're moving forward with. You'd actually, in some cases, be stepping backwards. So hardware is not something that it's going to tempt me back and make me think, oh, I'm now moving into the next gen, and it's giving me something extra. And I've already got an Xbox One X, so and my son and daughter, they've got PS4. So we've got consoles that sort of work with graphics and tech spec around that sort of ability. Obviously, we don't have the Nintendo software that goes with that. And I'm not, like I said, I haven't got a crystal ball as such. I'm not saying I definitely will never buy a Nintendo Switch 2, but based on what I know at the minute, I'm starting to have doubts, and I'm just explaining why. So hardware-wise, it's not cutting the mustard really for me to be tempted, I don't think. I don't think it's going to offer anything that would really sway me over and make me think, oh, I've really got to have that. Games-wise, the Nintendo stuff that I play most, the retro stuff on the Switch can do that. I've got a massive catalogue of Switch games that I've not played yet, so I don't need a Switch 2 to play them. I've got a Switch. So yeah, there's reasons why building up that a Switch 2 probably wouldn't cut it. And then what's really topped it off for me, and again, this is only what I've sort of watched on YouTube, put bits of information together. There's talk that it's going to be potentially in the region of like $500, 400 odd pound, £500. Now, to me, that is too much for a console that is not actually next gen. So if that is true, if the pricing is up there, it's expensive, it's like £400, $400 plus. For me, that's just going to be, that'll price me out of wanting a Nintendo Switch 2. I'd have to wait until the price came down a lot. There's even question marks, I believe, over whether that's going to be an OLED screen or not, or whether there's going to be like two pricing tiers. So I think I saw for $450 you'd get a basic package, which might not be an OLED screen, but if you paid $500 you got maybe an OLED screen. Obviously there's a lot of guesswork going on. Nintendo's not officially announced anything yet. But yeah, if you're looking at sort of base model being $450 potentially, and often that equates to just giving it as in £450, to me, for what will be on offer, from what I can see will be on offer, that will be too much. Now, let me know in the comments, if that's the case, do you agree? Would that be too much? Are they pricing it too high for what it is? Or let me know likewise in the comments, have I misunderstood something? Am I missing out some facts here? Have I got my wires crossed? But these are the sort of things that I've picked up looking online, trying to research it a bit, trying to decide whether the Nintendo Switch 2 would be the right move forward as the next console for us or not. But yeah, I've got more question marks now. Since watching that trailer, I briefly had a period where I thought, yeah, Nintendo Switch 2, that's me. I'm done with Xbox. I'll keep my Xbox One X. That can do my Microsoft account stuff, and I'll pause there with Xbox because I can't see them going in a direction that I like. Likewise with Sony and the PlayStation, I'm not keen to jump on the PlayStation 5 bandwagon. And down the line, maybe the PlayStation 6 will come out and something will appear that makes me think, that change my mind. But yeah, I'm just stuck in that position again where I'm probably not going to be jumping into the next gen of stuff and just stick with retro. Enjoying the retro stuff, and the Switch does what I need Nintendo wise. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Nintendo Switch 2. I've gone from being really excited, if I could afford it, definitely get one as soon as I can, to no, I'm not sure that's actually going to provide me anything that I really need. But yeah, a lot of question marks. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on that. But yeah, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not claiming I know exactly where Nintendo are going with this. I don't know every bit of detail. But just with what we've got as knowledge at the minute, or what we think we know at the minute about it, question mark for me. I'm not sure whether I will be diving in there anytime soon when it comes out. Now, as we're talking Nintendo and Switch today, I thought I'd raise this little thing, this beauty. So, The Super Life of Pixel is a game that turned up from Father Christmas for the kids at Christmas time, and I just thought I'd give a lowdown for it. Some of you might not have heard of this before. I hadn't heard of it until very recently. I saw a video on YouTube, it popped up on there and pricked up my attention, and I thought, oh, that looks quality, that. So yeah, thankfully Father Christmas brought it for the kids at Christmas, and I'll give you a lowdown of it now just in case you've not heard about it, because it is a great game. Let's take a look at Super Life of Pixel, a kind of love letter to the history of video gaming. This indie gem takes you on a pixel perfect journey through the evolution of gaming, one console at a time. At its core, Super Life of Pixel is a 2D platformer with a twist. You play as Pixel, a curious green square, exploring levels inspired by over a dozen retro consoles, from my first gaming system, the ZX Spectrum, to the PlayStation. Each console's era is recreated with incredible attention to detail, from graphical limitations to sound design. One of the game's strongest points is its authenticity. The developers didn't just mimic the look and feel of these consoles, they embraced their quirks like limited colour palettes, chiptune audio and even hardware constraints. Every level feels like a playable history lesson. But don't let the charm fool you, this game is tough. It leans heavily into the precision platforming of yesteryear, requiring patience, timing and more than a little trial and error. While the controls are generally tight, some moments feel a little unforgiving, especially for players not used to retro difficulty. As you progress, the game's evolution is stunning, from 8-bit simplicity to 32-bit complexity. You'll see how gaming grew, and so do the levels themselves, adding new mechanics and obstacles to keep things fresh. To top it off, there's a layer of exploration with collectibles and hidden areas adding replayability. However, heads up, some levels can feel repetitive and the difficulty spikes might deter more casual players. Super Life of Pixel is a heartfelt tribute to gaming history, blending nostalgia with challenging gameplay. While it won't be for everyone, retro enthusiasts and platforming fans will find plenty to love here. So I strongly advise you pick up a copy. Dust off those old school reflexes and dive into Super Life of Pixel, where a journey through gaming's past awaits. So yeah, that's Super Life of Pixel. If you've not purchased that, if you've not played it before, I strongly advise you check it out. So we're nearly done for today. I'll just put up the VirtuaFather Retro Gamer Brain Teaser on screen now, so you can check whether you got that right or wrong. Next weekend I'll be with the kids. They're not here this weekend, but next weekend I'll see the kids and we're off to Leeds Gaming Market. So that'll be an exciting one next Sunday. I'm sure we'll have a great time, and we'll no doubt post a video sometime after that letting you know how it went, so don't forget to check that out. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed today's video. Check out the channel. If you're into retro gaming, I'm sure you will find something that you can enjoy watching. But yeah, that's it for today. Take care, keep enjoying your gaming. Bye for now.